She said the fear was no longer in the past. It was alive, and it still belonged to him. Daniel. 1 week later, at the same hour she always chose, the door opened again. This time she did not hesitate. She walked in as if she had already made a decision on the stairs outside my office. Her face still carried the familiar exhaustion, but something new sat on top of it: resolve. She sat down without waiting for permission. For the first time, her hands did not collapse on her lap. They trembled, but they did not fall. I said calmly, "You said last week that part of your fear still belongs to him." Her jaw tightened. She nodded. "Yes." I waited. Then she said slowly, "You asked who Daniel really is to me." She took a breath. "A long time ago, before he became my husband, before the violence, before the alcohol." She paused. "He was only a shop assistant." For a moment the room felt strangely still. Just a boy behind a counter. Simple clothes, quiet voice, eyes that looked harmless. She swallowed. "I was the daughter of a rich man, raised behind walls of pride and control. And he had nothing." She smiled faintly. "That was exactly why I fell." Her voice softened. "He didn't rescue me. He didn't impress me. He didn't promise me the world." She looked down. "He just looked at me like I was human." She closed her eyes. "And that was enough to destroy everything I had." She continued, "After we ran away, after we found that small house, for a while he was still that boy." She hesitated. "I worked. I paid the rent. I carried the weight of the life we chose together." I did not interrupt. But slowly, something in him changed. She looked up. Not all at once. Her hands trembled again. Some mornings he woke up like the happiest man in the world, making promises, talking about the future, touching my face as if I were sacred. A pause. And some mornings he didn't wake up at all. Her voice dropped. He drank. He disappeared inside himself. And when he came back, he was angry with the world for abandoning him, she whispered. And I was the nearest target. I spoke gently. "You learned to live inside his instability." She nodded. "I learned to predict his moods before he even spoke. I learned which doors not to open, which words not to use, which version of myself to hide." Her breath became shallow, and then the beatings began. She did not cry. She did not shake. She simply stated it. For 6 months. Silence. No neighbors, no family, no escape. She stared at the floor. "I wasn't afraid of death then." She looked at me. "I was afraid of going back to my father." I waited. Then I asked quietly, "Is that where the fear really began?" She froze. Not like before. This was different. She whispered, "No." A long pause. "It began long before Daniel." She leaned back slowly, and for the first time, she did not speak like a woman. She spoke like a child reopening a locked room. "My father did not beat me." She said it carefully. "He didn't have to." Her eyes shifted somewhere far away. "He used silence, control, honor." Her voice hardened. "When you grow up being valuable only when you obey, when love is conditional, when mistakes cost your entire existence." She looked at me. "You don't learn to protect yourself. You learn to endure." I said softly, "So when Daniel hurt you, your nervous system already knew the language of endurance." She did not answer immediately. Then she nodded. "Yes." And then she added, "That night I ran away from him. I wasn't only running from Daniel." She took a sharp breath. "I was running from my father too." Her voice lowered. "And the thought I confessed last week." She touched her chest. "That terrible thought." She looked at me. "It wasn't really about killing him." A pause. "It was about ending." Inside and outside, I said carefully, "Your mind was searching for an emergency exit, not a crime." She exhaled slowly. "And yet, I still carry the shame." Then I shifted the session. Nasim, today I want you to understand something important. She listened. Daniel does not own your fear. Her eyes narrowed slightly. You gave him power because he touched the same wound your childhood left open. She whispered, so he still controls me? I shook my head. No. I paused. He only triggers what was trained long before him. Silence. Her breath trembled. Then she asked something unexpected. Then why, even now, after all these years, my body still reacts when I hear his name? I answered slowly, because trauma is stored in the body before it is understood by the mind. She whispered, so I'm not broken? I looked at her. No. She slid one tear down her cheek. For the first time, that sounded believable. The table, she nodded. Situation, thought, behavior. This week, I said, we will add one more line at the bottom. She waited. Trigger. She frowned slightly. The smallest moment that awakens the old fear. She nodded slowly. I will try. She stood up, walked toward the door, then stopped. What if in the next session, I'm finally ready to talk about my mother? My hand paused on the notebook. I looked up. That will change everything. She nodded, and I think I'm ready. She opened the door, and this time she did not look back. Because the next session will not be about Daniel. It will be about where Nasim learned silence before she ever learned love. If you want to continue this journey with Nasim, the next session will be here.